These are the Padsmith Iems, and if you aren't familiar, Padsmith is a company most known for making mouse pads, and good ones at that. The title might have already spoiled it, but I think they're great. And I already know what you're thinking. A company known for mouse pads making Iems, it can't be that good, right? Well, they aren't perfect, but for $120, I think they got a lot of things right, and the unboxing experience is definitely great. It has great presentation with an included hard carrying case, and inside said case is different side tips. One of the first things I noticed when unboxing is that it comes with one of the higher stock quality cables I've used so far. The connectors have a little weight to them, and the shielding and materials on the cable have a bit of a nice premium feel to them. This all makes sense because it was made in collaboration with Gladiator Cables, which is an Italian-based custom IEM cable maker, and he's nothing short of an artisan. I highly recommend checking him out, and I will leave his link in the description. I felt overall these were a great starter IEM experience from the unboxing to sound. They are a bit smaller in size and are really comfortable, and the nozzle is also smaller than I'm used to, and I used these for 6+ hours with no discomfort or pain, with the included ear tips being decent, but I did find myself reinserting them often or pushing them deeper in between rounds. Not really a big issue, but one of the very few complaints I have, so I felt I should mention it. For the sound signature, I don't enjoy getting super technical with graphs and things like that, but for those of you that do care, I'll toss up a frequency response graph, and I'll be using the Truthier X Critical Zeros as my frame of reference, seeing as I've recommended those to the most people and they're really popular. Majority of my testing was done in gaming, but I'm the type to listen to music while gaming, so it has to be able to handle both pretty well. The bass is tight and has more of a punch, while the highs are well rounded and don't feel super fatiguing in any way, while still retaining quite a bit of detail. The footsteps were easier to differentiate from other sounds, and I didn't have sort of that audio bleed I experienced with the current Zeros. When a lot of stuff was happening all at once, it drowned out footsteps and other sound cues compared to the Padsmith Iems, where I found it easier to differentiate between different footsteps above and below me and different audio cues at my level. It made for some better on-the-fly decision making. I mainly tested these in Marvel Rivals, COD, and Fortnite. As for COD, I still look you to Crimson, and for Marvel Rivals, I haven't quite put nearly enough time for me to find my skill level, but before Season 1 I got to Plat 1, and I'd probably guesstimate my skill level moving forward to be around Diamond 1 or GM to give you an idea of the level I'm playing at. To compare the nozzle size to my current main IEM, the Truthier Zeros, the Padsmith Iems are noticeably smaller, and I'd say it would be a better fit for most ears. My ears, for example, because of the nozzle size of the Zeros, I didn't have to push them as far deep into my ear to get a seal, but their nozzle size caused a bit more discomfort with the longer gaming sessions. And I did have to readjust very often after 4-ish hours of gaming or less. But with the Padsmiths, I had to push them in a bit deeper to get a good seal, but with the longer sessions it was a bit more comfortable and more ergonomic for my ears specifically, mostly due to the smaller nozzle size. It's all about preference, and I found the smaller nozzle size to be a big win for me. The only real complaint I have is sometimes when moving mouse pads, the static on my desk would cause feedback, and I would hear it in the headphones for a quick second. It wasn't jarring or anything, and it didn't really bother me that much, and it happened very rarely, but I should still probably mention that. I will say these lack a certain wow factor that something like the Super Mix 4 might offer, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I've heard some people report they felt fatigued with the Super Mix 4 on long periods, and something a bit less overwhelming would be their preference for everyday listening and gaming. I did have semi-high expectations for these, nothing crazy, and I wasn't really expecting them to blow me away or anything, but they delivered in my expectations and will be replacing my daily driver Truthier Zero. Let me know down below what other IEMs you'd like for me to cover and what headphones you're currently using. That'll be all for this video, and I hope you have the day you deserve.